Happy New Year. As we kick off 2025, let's take a look back at some of the things people in college athletics had to say about intercollegiate throughout 2024. We're very pleased to be able to partner with your athletic department, you and everyone else. When you look at intercollegiate recruiter, one of the things we hear often is that all the data, the information is in one place. What's something that has stood out about those tools that you think could help you and help your department, moving forward?
Yeah, and so again, my background, I come from law, a lot of research, right? I'm perfectly comfortable of diving in. So the more data you give me, that excites me because that just makes me make a more informed decision, both in how we craft our positions, how we craft our salaries, the type of talent pool that's out there, what our peers are doing, and just the more information that we have to make more intentional, right decisions, is fantastic. And so it's very much appreciated that we can have this partnership to you can provide the information that allows us to put ourselves in a position to attract the right candidates because so much of it in this industry is word of mouth, but so much of it is necessary to use the tools that are available to us to allow us to again find that right person.
It's a new partnership, so as you move forward, you continue to get more time with the features, but there are a lot of advanced features, especially with Intercollegiate Recruiter. So, just curious, are there certain things that you are excited to be able to use along with just having all the data at your fingertips?
Yeah, something like, again, I'm just initially exploring. So one of the
Mhm.
things is that because it's all get funneled together, right? So you don't have to go and find. And so for me, um, I always like to again be very intentional with the positions we create to as a institution that's not as resourced as well as some others, we have to get it right on the positions we craft and based off of the needs we have, right? And so having the opportunity at this point to kind of look at how others are doing it. So it helps us inform us how we continue to evolve and move forward. So one space that's it's a constant evolution over the last 20 years, I'll say, is the sports, what used to be called sports information, right? And now it's strategic communications, it's evolving even more, and AI in the what it's doing in this space. And I bring this up because how can we best be using this space to provide the needs of our customers, right? Those who want to know more about CSUN and also our ability to tell the story of our student athletes and our coaches, et cetera, right? What we're doing here because we're doing some great stuff. And so this is an area like I've started looking at, okay, how are other people going about it and shaping it so we can do the same and be continually moving forward as opposed to just doing it as it's always been done.
Segue, we always encourage everyone to check out intercollegiate.co, most comprehensive job board in college athletics. One of the things we hear from people that do check out and try intercollegiate is that everything is in one place. Everything's in one place for you. Uh, how beneficial, from your perspective, do you think that can be to have everything in one place for you?
It's huge. And I would say not only from an employer side, but also from an employee side. I think it's both ways. From the employer side, we can see, basically it's like the board of where everyone is going to or departing, which that's helpful because there's a trickle down effect for that too, on how that could potentially affect Eastern. But two, I would also say just being able to target applicants and say, hey, like I'm looking for this coach who has um, ties to this region. If you wanted to go that specific in a search, but just being able to target potential candidates and then also being able to clip them to the job that you have, like that's really cool. Being able to evaluate potential employees that way. The system's clean. The website looks really good, and just the functionality of it is phenomenal. From the employee side, I feel like a lot of research kind of gets taken, or there's a lot less time to research because you have a lot more data points within intercollegiate that you can research the institution that you're applying for, or even look at the institution before you apply to make sure that's the fit for what you want in your career. So I think um, all the way around, it's a really clean system, and we're excited to. We started using it. We're excited to really jump into it over the next few months and really use it as a an effective job board and review for us.
You've just touched on a few things. Before I let you go, I do want to give you the chance to, if there's anything else to expand on and ask you, because as I said, you did touch on a few of the features, but what are some of the things you're most excited about being able to use, with Intercollegiate and through this partnership that can help your athletic department out, moving forward?
Well, the fact that it's a job board that you're pulling from all the universities is a huge help, and I think especially for us, we were looking. There's a couple of different job boards that we've been posting on, but quite frankly, we don't get the data points to see how effective those searches are. So we have all of that data right at our fingertips, so we can go right in and see how effective this job posting was. We are able to see how effective the job postings are on Intercollegiate, which is something before we had to reach out to HR for any of the other platforms. So we have that information at our fingertips that we get to see how many people applied through Intercollegiate, but also view the job posting through Intercollegiate. We're able to feature some of our job postings, which is something that we had talked before about how I was kind of concerned about how when we post something on any other job sites, it just kind of gets lost in the mix with all of the other jobs. So that helps kind of stand out our positions a little bit more. And then additionally, what's really nice for the applicant review is that, before you're just looking at um, the resume and seeing where everyone has worked at before, but with Intercollegiate, you're able to get an advanced, I want to say a scouting report on each of the candidates, but you can pull from there and really see everything that they worked at, their work history, who they've worked with, whether on reference or off their reference list, and be able to get a even better idea of the applicant that you have within your job pool. So I would just say all the way around it's really helpful both on the employee side and the employer
Absolutely.
side.
And with that said, I mean, one of the things we keep hearing over and over about intercollegiate.co is that everything is in one place with that job board. So, based off of your experience and everything, I mean, can you speak to how beneficial that would be for a tool to have, so much information, all the jobs, everything in a one-stop shop for the whole job seeking and job hiring process?
I mean, the benefits are extremely important, right? I think one of the things that I really like is you can filter down for what you're looking for, right? And you can look at other salaries and make sure that you're on point with your salary. You can look at other job postings that are similar, make sure your job posting is kind of, it's not copying, it's best practices, right? We all like to do whatever the best practice is for our level. So having a database where instead of just hoping someone applies for it, you can look and see who's out there, who's interested, who meets your qualifications, who, for one of our positions, it's not entry level, but it's that next step. Who are those people that are at their entry level who are ready to take that next step? And having that data in one place so you're not necessarily having to call up your buddies and friends going, hey, who do you got? Like you have another resource besides who do you got? Um, you know, I love LinkedIn and what I've been able to do with that a little bit is and my network does it to me all the time. Hey, Josiah, we got an opening in this position. Who do you know? And it's going through the LinkedIn profile and going, yeah, this is who it is. What Intercollegiate does for you is it's all there, right? You don't have to go searching, oh, who was that person? Where were they at? So it's definitely a tool that probably takes off a little bit of the pressure of when you're trying to find that right person. And it gives you some data, right? And we are in a world where data is gold. So the more data you can have, the better prepared you can be, and then you can get the better candidates.
As an intercollegiate partner, you have access to a lot of the advanced features. It might be, like I said, what you just mentioned, but what are some of the things that you would say you're most excited about being able to use to try to help your team excel?
I think it's the filter process of being able to see who kind of meets our criteria or who's out there that is looking for a similar position to us, right? We can be proactive versus reactive with the tool, and I like that. The data aspect of it again is so important, and being able to see in one place all the positions. I think that was one thing that really struck me. And when I took it back to our senior staff to say, hey, we have this benefit, we can use this in our searches because we have a few searches coming up where this is going to be a tool that we can use to help us grow our pool because we want the best pool possible, right? The best problem to have is five people that just knock you off your feet that you really want to hire, right? That's a good problem to have. And I think that tool gets us there.
Putting your job seeker hat on, let's do a little role play here. If you were looking for a job, eh, looking around at Intercollegiate or what you know about the platform, I mean, what are the differences with Intercollegiate compared to maybe other job boards you've seen or have used over the years, in your opinion?
Again, it's just the amount of data. I've utilized WinAD throughout my career, and you guys being a part of that kind of WinAD nexus is one of the things that helps too, right? Like you guys are doing all the back end work to collect the data that we need. So I think that that's something that's helpful too, because it kind of can help with when you're looking for a job. This is an opportunity to help you kind of see where you are in the job market, right? As a free agent, what's your value compared to others, right? And I think that's important. Definitely not looking for the next opportunity. I love it here and very happy here. So I'll be using this on the other end. I won't be using it personally. I'll be using it to hire.
And you also kind of touched on this earlier, just the benefit of having everything in one place when it comes to intercollegiate. Can you just speak to, you already did a little bit earlier, but just digging a little more into that, can you speak to how beneficial that is as a tool to have everything in one place?
Yeah, and it was it's all the same data that was in WinAD. It's all the same data. But intercollegiate, the how it's compiled makes it a whole lot easier. And so for us, whether I have to go run Ethernet cable later today because we had something that broke and we got to get ready for a women's basketball game tonight, or I got to go meet with IT in our to fix some stuff in our broadcast trailer, or I'm meeting with some people about donors, whatever. All that takes time, and it's hard. So the nice thing about Intercollegiate, it pulls it all for you. That's very, very sortable. I think that's the easiest. The data was all there in WinAD. And we were working with people and kind of getting demos and how can we do this. I suggested one thing, and that we've actually heard that from a few people. We're going to try working on it, and it was basically like a 6 degrees of separation, but less than that. Like John Doe works somewhere else. Oh, I didn't realize that he and Jane Smith work together. I really trust Jane. We have a connection. Let me call about this. And so that's something else, intercollegiate. I was like, that would be tremendous. But that may have taken me 45 minutes to get to. And if it's right there, there's already the little face icons on there, the people that they may know them a little bit at that institution. So I think that's the biggest thing for me. The data was there. It's just so much quicker now. And like I said, we met with our head coaches last week and showed them, and they're really excited to know this. I said, hey, if you're going through this, let me know, and we can try and find some information. There's also the salary information, which sometimes you just, off the bat know, like, okay, great candidate, but this might not be the right fit for us. Or how do we kind of get there? We need a little bit extra to incentivize that. And sometimes that is trying to find additional funds. Sometimes it's giving more responsibility or something that they may not get somewhere else. And that's something that we try and do a lot here. Like I said, I had the unique opportunity to that. I wouldn't have got some of those responsibilities as quickly as I did elsewhere. So yeah, it's all the information is now in your hands instead of like still got to look for them a little bit. That's the biggest thing for us, is just saving a whole lot of time. And we're excited about.
Yeah, and we're excited to be a partner as well. I guess that answer, I was going to ask you one last question. That kind of answers it, but I will ask you anyways. Just the benefits you're excited out of Intercollegiate Recruiter. I guess as you just said, it is that time saving measure, right, of helping you out because in college athletics, obviously you guys are so busy. So just the ability to help save time, huh?
Yeah, save a lot of time. And I think the other thing for us is that you want your job posted somewhere, it's going to cost several hundreds of dollars. And depending when you get through hiring cycles, you're like, we spent $1,200 on this. Start thinking about over the course of a year what that can mean for your student athletes. And Intercollegiate, they pull straight from our HR website. We don't have to worry about that. It's there. And so the more institutions that use it, the more people are looking. That's that financial burden is something that we can turn back to our student athletes. So another benefit that day to day we might not see, but adds up over time. Another great benefit.